Hey, let's get this show started, fellas. All right, fellas, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, coming out of one, just dating, married, or divorced. Navigating through relationships is one of the biggest challenges and one of the hottest topics. So, what do men really want and what do women really need? The conversation, I'm pretty sure, it will never end, right? But take a look at these clips.
This is what men want from women: respect and admiration. Everything else is secondary.
Men need to feel valued, admired, respected, desired.
3 things that men desire and deeply want in relationship. The first, to be respected. Number 2, to be acknowledged, to be seen and witnessed for the things that they are. And lastly, they want to be loved. They want to be adored. They want to be told and shown that, yes, you matter.
Sometimes I feel like letting a man know that you need him makes him come even harder because he feels wanted, he feels needed.
Yo, this is gonna trigger a lot of people. The number one determining factor of the quality of a relationship is how the man is showing up. Wait, were you expecting a different answer, my king? I didn't know it was the queen's responsibility to ensure the conditions of the kingdom.
So, 34 years ago, a book called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus hit the shelves and it became a bestseller. But what is the mystery behind what men want and what women need? In a lot of clips, the men said they need to be respected. So fellas, what does it look like for a man to get respect?
For me, respect, and I appreciate what the brother said, respect for me equates to one thing, and that's communication, right? Because if we can't communicate effectively, then our relationship is always going to be off balance, right? Because it's not always what you say, but it's how you say it. And respect could also, in communication for me, is nonverbal and verbal communication, because that lets me know whether you're listening to me, whether you're hearing what I'm saying, and the vice versa, whether I'm affirming and hearing what you're saying. So for me, communication equates to respect for me.
Nah, hey, big facts, big facts. I got a quote in my book to say, talk to me nice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to talk to myself nice.
Okay.
Right? Because I need to have that intrinsic motivation as I go out in this world and I seek to provide. But who I'm providing for, I want to be respected by as well. So that goes on how they treat me and of course, how they speak to me. I'm big on words of affirmation. So with that, feeling appreciated, feeling seen, and talked to in a respectful manner, that's how I feel respected. I think that's important, man.
I think when it comes to respect, my biggest thing is like, if I'm a man and I'm leading in a relationship, you having some trust in my judgment. Like trusting that I'm a man that's following God, and with that, you're following my end as I'm following God. And it's not to say that we can't have discussions about what should be going on, what we should be doing. But if I'm always saying, I think we should do like this, and it's always a combative thing, either we not gonna be together much longer or something gotta happen, because a whole bunch of back and forth, it shouldn't feel like an argument every time we try to make a decision.
Is that the question I have for you, is that like, not a my way or the highway type thing, right, but that's what kind of like came to mind, but also it's kind of like, yes, you're leading, but isn't she like gaining your, I guess, making sure you can lead?
And yes, I don't want to say it's a my way or the highway thing, and just from what I've seen, that like, my dad was the man of the household, right? And so it's not that the woman doesn't have input, it's that do you trust your man enough to lead you? Because if you don't trust him enough to lead you, then that's not a relationship you should be in.
So what happens when you constantly make mistakes then?
Oh, that's a different conversation.
Okay,
if I'm constantly, because the thing with me, I have to be able to listen to you and take in certain mistakes I may have made and certain input that you have and make a decision based off that. It's not me making decisions just based off what I want and what I think we should do, but off of conversations that we've had. I feel like, okay, from what you said, from what I said, this is a decision I think we should be able to do.
Yeah, that's just overall communication, though. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, so like to your point, right? Just having the correct communication with somebody, I think is going to be the pillar for everything. And that kind of leads to the overall message of the respect. It's not even just what you say, but how you say it, and also, too, what body language you may be giving that. Sometimes you may just walk around, and give them something, and that may not be a good feeling. That might just throw your whole energy off.
Dismiss it.
So now you have an argument.
If she's not trusting your judgment, I'm questioning the vetting process, the dating process. Because why are you under my leadership if you're going to not trust the vision, trust the process, trust my judgment? You know what I mean? And I mean, just straight up and down, we need to ensure that we are aligned. And you should be doing that during the dating part, the courting part.
That's true.
And then you accept the commitment level of you want to be my lady, yes or no type of thing. And if she says yes, then she should have done her due diligence and understand I'm a man she could trust.
Well, I think, and I understand, I respect that. But also, too, you have to disclaim a lot of assumptions that you're expecting her to understand where you guys are in a relationship. So that you can't make those kind of assumptions.
That's communication.
Yeah, no, I was going to get into that. I was going to say the fact that, yes, it is a communication, but you got to remember like where that person is coming from and how they might not have ever trusted, or everybody has failed. But now my next question I was going to throw to you all is, because like you said, when you fail, that's a different question. So how do you recover after you failed, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen, but now she got that, I don't even know if you really know what's
I think the first thing is acknowledging that you failed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because, even with me, like if me and my wife are having an issue, it's not how I go into the cave, it's how I come back in when I come out of the cave, right? And sometimes it's meant to your point, when we lead and we fail, but our wives or our spouses acknowledge that we failed, we have to acknowledge that ourselves. You know what, baby, you was right at the time. Maybe I'll listen to you, take more
100%.
back from you. So that's the key to that.
That sounds to me like vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
Being able to be vulnerable and accountability as well. Being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, man, this didn't really work out for me, or I'm making some mistakes.
But also, part of that, and this goes back into the respect thing, is if I failed before, I'm going to acknowledge that I have failed. But do not constantly remind me that I have failed, because then now that's going to be... Yeah, now that's going to be causing an issue. Yeah.
All right.
Nah, I wish you would.
The standard will be if I'm making a decision that's going to affect our life or our household or our relationship, I'm going to consult my woman.
100%.
She's my woman for a reason. I value her thoughts. I value her ideas, and I want them. And then I'm going to factor that into my decision calculus.
Okay, so let's switch it up though. So we still talking about what men need, right? What else we need? I mean, I think for me is obviously the big thing is loyalty, especially coming out of relationships where we talk about respect and everything like that, but that goes into loyalty just because, I mean, I feel like in today's society, for some reason, I don't know, the ladies done amped up the cheating level a little bit higher there. They like, we playing the game a little harder. So now you got to play this game because everybody feel like they got options, they got choices. So like the loyalty thing, after you make a mistake of losing some respect, you know what I'm saying? I think the loyalty is a big factor for me at least, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing like, all right, I can trust and rely on you not to throw it back in my face and, you know, just really be there. So that, I would say loyalty is a big one.
What does loyalty look like?
I think loyalty is more, it's like, for me, it's like that friendship balance. Like you get that loyalty when you grow up with your brothers and things like that. Y'all go through things, you can rely on that person to remember that like, bro, they got my back. You want that same thing in your woman in that different form, right? Like, I just need to know that you're not going to give up on me even though I did fail, or you're not out here wandering and searching just like, you know what I'm saying? You, like what you called it earlier, parked your car and you still looking, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's important.
And I think that's a good point, right? Because what I'm hearing you saying, what I believe too, in context of that, is loyalty and trust kind of go here, right? Because if I trust you, I'm gonna be loyal to you. But if I don't trust you, then I'm not gonna be as loyal as I should be because I don't trust you. So those two things have to go hand in hand.
Loyalty can have multiple definitions, right? Because loyalty is just not faithfulness, right? Because loyalty, you could just be loyal to me just by continuing to show up for me, continuing to care for me, continuing to be an ear when I need somebody to listen to me. That's being loyal to me. So I think that amongst the things that you're saying is also an umbrella of those qualities as well that we need to recognize and say that I do need you to show up for me constantly, not just today and tomorrow, but I might need you next week, next month. And so just because you're faithful to me doesn't necessarily mean that you're always gonna be loyal to me. So I think that kind of encapsulates it in its entirety, just like,
it does, and it's vice versa, right? We can't expect it to be one way for us and another way for women and females. So that's.
I mean, I agree. I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave with the least thought process. Well, Trevor, you had something you wanted to?
No. I mean, good points. We're talking about what men want. I mean, respect, loyalty, trust, peace. Peace. Can you be my peace? What does it look? What does it look like, smell like, feel like when I cross the threshold into the domicile? You know what I mean? Is it peaceful? Are you disturbing the peace? Are you ludicrous? You know what I mean? We need peace.
What I would say, and this is something that I have learned, that making someone your peace is a no. I've learned that you have to have your own inner peace, and I want you to add to my peace, because when I now have peace in you, now we become too codependent, and once you leave, now it's like I'm trying to fill a void. I've literally just gotten over that with my last relationship, like making her my peace, and we're being so codependent upon each other, so that once we separated, it was very, very hard for me to feel like there's something there to fill that void.
That's important. That's important, and I think that in context of all of it is that we have to think about relationships from need and want, from a complementary perspective. Like, what do you bring to me, and what do I bring to you, right? And I used to always tell people, like even before I got married, I always said I wanted a woman that's independent of me but dependent on me, right? Because I want my wife to have her own credit, her own finances, because God forbid if something happened to me, I don't want her and my family to fall
back to
short,
loyalty.
because everything is back to me. You know what I'm saying? So
I like it. That go back to loyalty too, just like you said, because if you don't have that, I guess that faith or that safety net, because it's tough being a man, you lead the house and do all those things and you're the person. But a lot of people don't talk about how tough it is to walk around as a man knowing that you don't have a safety net in your woman. Like you have no room for error.
Chose wrong.
You have no room. I mean, you did, but I mean, you was also giving that person space and faith to grow, because you being that person to lead. Hey, I'm a lead, so you got space to grow as the woman that you need to be, because that's what I see you as. But at the same time, I'm walking on a thin line right here. So I need you to make sure that we got it, because if I slip at all, it's all go down. You know?
I mean, I'm also say too, man, that if we talking about what we really need, I'm a physical touch guy, man. Like you know what I mean? I need some cuddles. I need some, you know what I mean? I need to be felt on, rubbed on, loved on, all of that, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
And that goes to communication for me, goes back to understanding the love language of yourself and your mate, right? And it goes back to the complimentary part of it, right? Because if you understand your mate's love language, you're not expecting her to be or do something that she can't do. Or affirm you when that's not her love gift. Or her, you know what I'm saying? So it all goes back into that context for me.
Hey, what you need is what you
need.
I got
20 years in, so.
What you need is what you need, man.
We do need that tango.
But you can't expect your wife to give you something, your mate to give you something that she's not capable of giving you.
The horizontal tango.
The horizontal tango.
Is that code word for like head or something?
What's
Oh
that?
my God.
The handsy pangs. You know what I'm saying? We need the loving at the end of the day.
Say that.
That's
right. Say that. You talking in Morse code?
I like it. I mean, you know, it's metaphors, it's similes, and things like that. I call it our souls are slow dancing. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, some things you can't teach.
Probably got to break through your window before.
You trying to slow dance with the souls one time?
That's when you're making love. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you in love with if that's your lady, you making love. But I think that is, I don't think that women really understand the power of that. You can give a man a whole new aura. He can have a whole new aura about him. He could walk more upright. He could be, walking with his chest out a bit more. You know what I mean? We don't need much. Sleep, food, and some good loving. I mean, it don't take much. Like, men are simple.
Hey, I like it, man. I like it. Hey, don't go away, man. We're going to talk about what do men want and what women need. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
All right, y'all. So I'm putting a disclaimer out there right now. We do not sit here thinking that we're experts at knowing what women need. We only know what we know. So through our personal experiences, but like men, knowing what women need isn't really a mystery, or is it?
I want loyalty, I want communication. I want a man who can make me feel safe.
Right.
Like who can lead.
I want communication. I want loyalty. I want consistency. Show up the same way you start. I want somebody who laughs with me when it's good and prays with me when it ain't.
Security. And I'm not just talking about finances. Make her feel safe with you. Make her feel like she can trust you. When a woman feels secure emotionally and physically, she'll bring out the best in you.
Women typically want men who can appreciate her delicacy and not mishandling her, to understand that she's still a woman.
What we need from a man. We need emotional support to feel loved unconditionally, a team player.
She has a need to be able to communicate with her husband. Men need more sex, but women need more communication and affection.
Order the whole thing for us. Yeah. Take me, plan the thing, you tell me where we're going, and we're all set.
Right. Yeah.
Because when a man leads with confidence and clarity, it allows a woman to relax.
Look, she could be killing it in corporate. She could be the boss chick that she was always born to be. She could be leading everyone else outside the home. But guess what? When she step into that home, she's looking for the guidance and the leadership of her man.
I want somebody who can lead me, who can make me feel safe, who can provide for me, who I can depend on, who I can feel my soft girl era in. You know, I don't want to be strong no more.
So fellas, we heard what women want, but why are we still struggling to give women what they need?
I think it depends upon, and this is a very simple answer, she's not the woman for him. I think the real woman that's for him, and this is what I had to learn. Again, I learned this the hard way. The woman that's actually for that man, even if it is that woman, it's just not that version, like the woman that's for that man, when she's needing certain things, men's natural thing is to provide, is to hunt, to want to give to that woman so that she don't got to worry about nothing. If the man don't want to do that, something about her, and it's not even necessarily like her fault, something about her is just not it for him. So if it's not like an innate thing of what, if it's not an innate thing of he's doing it automatically, even if it is that woman, those two versions of them two are not it for each other.
Absolutely. I love the video, man, because it's something that I constantly tell to the young brothers that I'm mentoring and so on. Like, hey, these women, they want safety, emotional safety, psychological safety, financial safety. You know, I mean, if they're coming under your leadership, they need to feel like that's a place that they can nest or they could call home themselves. The main problem is that when that man provides those things, that woman also wants those things in a man, but she wants him to be 6 feet tall, make 6 figures and all that. So that's it just is what it is.
Yeah. Come on. It's okay, preach for a short king. It's okay.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, though.
Ladies, we know what you need. If that man can provide you what you need, let's couple that with realistic expectations of what's actually out there.
But
I digress. Go.
Yeah, I'm going to just say, man, I mean, I think that to the questions why we struggle is because maybe they don't know what they need.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Like that.
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm a finance guy, and you said financial stability. I mean, it's just facts. You know, 75% of women say that they lead, or they're looking for a man to lead with their finances, and they obviously want somebody that can be there for their safety, to be there for their stability. Things come up, times happen, but I mean, we are in the world that we live in 2026, and things are happening every single day, and so it affects the way people handle their money. And if you can't handle your money, or if you don't have a lot of it, I think that you will struggle finding a relationship or finding that sort of stability, loyalty that you want. So I mean, I think that women, man, they just gotta, understand everybody can make it 6 figures, man.
And that's the realistic expectation.
So there's always been an ideology that women mature faster than men, right? But going to your point right there, think about it like this, right? So sometimes it doesn't matter what the age is, you could be more spiritually mature, more mentally mature, emotionally mature. So when you meet somebody, that doesn't mean that they're already ready to meet your standards or what those things mean, right? And so that falls into that relationship part of understanding, okay, I want her to be this way because I'm more mature in this area, but she's not. So back to the six-figure thing, a lot of it goes back to understanding as a woman, from a woman's perspective, is what is your haves and what's your have not? What you're going to take and what you're not going to tolerate. And that equates to whether or not you're bringing something to the table that they can compliment you on, or you're taking something away from them because you need them to do something that you can't do as a man, or you're not doing as a man.
Yeah. I mean, another element to this is men understanding what the women need and them building themselves up to be that.
I was just about to go there.
Like, what are you doing your self-improvement? Are you trying to become a better version of yourself every day? What books are you reading? Who are you listening to? Who are your mentors? Like, if you grow yourself, you're going to show up better for that woman, for that relationship.
And that's like, women know when you go into your rebuilding shell or your next level shell, because they be watching, they're like, oh yeah, I need to catch him before he take off, right? But at the same time, it's men taking that focus to not be so hell-bent on, just chasing the horizontal, whatever you said earlier. You know what I'm saying? But being focused on getting your six figures, getting to the parts that you can control, right? Mm-hmm. But also making, what I took from it was the same thing we talked about earlier, which was respect, communication, and then that safety and loyalty. So it's not like it's something different. It's just, I guess it's given in a different way, because at the same time, if you make the right woman feel comfortable in those things, she should be able to pretty much make your bed where your peace will be balanced out, so y'all can have a good relationship.
I like that.
And if a man is doing the work, right? Let's go to the beginning.
Okay.
They talked about in the clips, they want leadership. At the very beginning, the men just aren't approaching out here. So men they got themselves together, now initiate and plan. You see a woman that you're interested in, approach them. Have casual, confident conversation. I mean, those types of things. And then plan the date.
Get it, go ahead.
No, see. Here we go. Here we go. Let me just stop that right there. Because here's one of the issues that I foresee, right? Oftentimes, if you're an attractive man and an attractive woman, I'm the kind of person that I'm going to speak to you casually, right? Whatever. But oftentimes, women automatically think because I'm complimenting them, they think that I'm trying to holler at them. Yeah. I'm just being a respectful man.
Yeah.
And so that's where the lines get crossed right there, because I'm not trying to holler at you. I'm just saying, hello, you look, whatever.
So how do you make that a comfortable space where you can approach a woman and express your interest without her feeling?
Because it's the woman. And I have to say this, because I lived in different parts of the world in a country like you have. We all travel. But to your point earlier, the DMV is a special place because the women here have it going on as opposed to most places around the country, right? And so how you would what you bring to the table for a woman in the DMV may be different than one in Atlanta or Houston or whatever, because women already had things going on. So now you can only compliment what she's doing. She doesn't really need you. So that goes back to that aspect of meeting somebody or what she may need.
Everybody needs somebody.
I was just going to say, man, going back to your point, though, that what I'm hearing it too, that the men aren't approaching the women like the shooters ain't shooting. They say it's 90% of the women dating 10% of the men, because 10% of the men are out there not scared of rejection, they're just shooting. But I'm telling the men, shoot your shot. It's only a no.
Like, it's better you not being a compliment. I should have hollered at her, man. Maybe you said, that conversation. The Monday morning quarterback.
This is why I think that some of the men and what women need is for men to approach. Men are not approaching. The casual conversation that you mentioned, if she thinks he's hollering or whatnot, you're not, that's okay. That's her issue, right? But nonetheless, men holler and understand that you are not there to impress and you're not auditioning. And if they come with that mindset to just have regular casual conversation, you'd be surprised on how much they can win.
Auditioning is the big one, bro, because I'm a people watcher, and I watch men literally go audition. I'd be like, bro, chill. Like, you doing too much, man.
That's not you. And she needs to choose your authentic self. That's why you don't audition.
Yeah, but I think that they have to be ready for friendship, right? Because you talk about really what women need, and we touched on it a little bit earlier. They want a friend. You want to be able to console in someone. And I think that that's what we're not doing so much. You said we're not approaching, but we're not even building that relationship, catering to that relationship in a way that we can build camaraderie. So we have like a base level to get, like you said, when we're courting, that's something we should be figuring out. If we compatible with each other, if I can be kind to you, if you can be kind to me, and therefore we can find a balance of friendship. And then, you know, we can, once we get some commonality against each other, then we can start kicking it, hanging out, you know, we can grow, you know what I mean, and start being that. But if we're not being friends, I mean.
So friends, then horizontal.
It's hexagon.
Sure, I got it.
Hold on. Friends, my bad.
Go ahead, you good.
Friends, clarity of what your intentions are. Because if the intention is we gonna do this for a quick little season, or am I looking for something long term? And that's what the women need. They need clarity.
See, so how do you express that, what you just said? Because oftentimes, oftentimes you become text friends, social media friends, right? And you could be feeling somebody, or they could be feeling you more than you feeling them. But as a man, you got to be like, you know what? I'm not really feeling you like that. Let me pull back some, because you're trying to go down a path that I'm not ready to go, or I don't want to go down. So you can't just say it's always going to be the way you just said.
No, you do that. As the man, men out there, I charge you to give clarity. You need to let them know. Communicate often, communicate honestly.
That sounds good on paper, but go ahead.
Here is another thing that I think is very important: discernment, right?
Yeah.
So I think that just because she looks good and she's attractive, every man don't need to be hollering at every single woman that looks good, right? I think sometimes that's lost upon is being able to just be cool with a woman and not be having to shoot at her. Because I think sometimes we'll think that, oh, she just looks good, so let me shoot my shot because I'm trying to look for my woman. Like, I've gotten to a point now, and I can say this is just for me, of looking to God for my purpose, and Eve will come along the way.
Good.
I don't have to keep trying.
But
I don't have to keep trying to shoot. Oh, because she looks good. Because it's like, yeah, I can shoot, but that I'm just going off of what she looks like to me. I don't know what kind of fruit she bears. I don't know what she's able to do. So it's like,
I'm
telling you, bro, this frontal lobe is just kicked in at 25.
No, 25. He's good for 25, right? You're great for 25. But what I will say, and I appreciate that, what you're saying, but what I've learned, like when I was single, is that it's not even, is that, but sometimes even when you're spiritual, you have to understand, just because that person may not be for you, God didn't just send one person for you, because he presented Eve and Adam chose. And as men, we got to understand, we just can't automatically assume that just because we meet somebody and they checking all these boxes, that's your mate. That's a fallacy. Because you have to have the absolutes and the things you're going to accept and the things you're not going to accept in any relationship.
Gotta have a baseline.
Might have been a little. So I was a little lost for a second, though.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You had me the first second.
I like what I like my quick little things I can remember. All right, and the thing that you said when you were speaking, it made me think of alignment over attraction.
Yes.
Absolutely. Take that. I mean, that was for free.
All right, man, listen.
That was for free.
Don't go away, y'all. We're taking this conversation to our audience when we get back.
But what I know is anyone that really cares and that does not want to lose you, they're going to prioritize you. Period. End of story.
Women don't hate submission. They just refuse to submit to chaos. They don't mind following a man's lead. They just need to know that he's leading her somewhere.
A great woman is not just accepting bare minimum. She's going to force you to elevate, or she's going to walk.
To the women out there, pay attention. The moment you disrespect your man, you will lose him, every part of him. So don't go out there complaining about your man if you're not treating him the way he deserves to be treated, especially if he's doing everything he can to lead from the front and be a good man.
Tonight, we stepped into a conversation that's been happening since the beginning of time. What men want and what women need. This isn't a battle of the sexes. It's real talk so we can get better and be better. Our audience members have been making all kinds of sound effects tonight. I know y'all hear them. So let's bring them into the conversation.
Hey.
Hi, guys. Congratulations on your show, and I've been following it, and it's been wonderful. However, is it Trail?
Trail.
Yes, Trail, you put a lot of emphasis on the word peace. That your inner peace was what was more important to you. And then, Anthony, you also mentioned that sometimes women don't really know what they want. So do you guys think if men just stop and think for a moment and say, okay, what women really want is peace, and if you give them that peace, you can get everything else that you want?
I think I mean, she asked you first, but I was going to say, I think that goes back to what you were saying, just really more so men being more intentional in understanding what it is that they want and more understanding with themselves, and that will help them find, that balance that gives the space for the woman to do so.
Absolutely. Yeah, because if I have peace, I am going to be able to show up as my best self. You know what I mean? And I kind of mentioned this on a break. But I think of, when you're on an aircraft and there's maybe a little bit of emergency. So if you compare that to your life, if you're going through a little bit of emergency, but you still have to take care of others, they say put your mask on first so that you can take care of yourself and then you can take care of others.
All right.
So if you have your peace first, you're going to be able to show up better for not just yourself, but for others as well.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Very good.
My question is, I think, Virgil, you mentioned being friends with a woman and how important that was. But in today's society especially, I wonder if when a man is attracted to a woman, I feel like there's always an agenda or an end goal. Even if you're her friend, you guys are coming into situations with something in mind, maybe the tango at the end. So are you guys ever genuinely focusing on the friendship aspect of a woman, or is there typically an end goal to that? And if so, that doesn't really make it a friendship, does it?
You want to start? I mean, look, my whole thing with the friendship, right, is that you're creating a baseline for something for you to build on, right? When you start with a house, you build a foundation that goes into the ground. It's not built on the same level that the house is. So you have to have something to put the other priorities that you're wanting to get to on. We can't just start eating food off the ground or straight off the table. They give you a plate and they give you utensils, forks, knives, and that's what you're doing when you're building a friendship, is that you're taking the time to take the plate out of the cabinet and set the knives and the napkin next to it so that way you can eat the food properly.
Go ahead.
I think that for men, women have to understand we're first visual. Forget about everything else. We're visual first. So if you're attractive, then that's the first thing that's going to appeal to us. That's why you guys do what you do, getting dressed, smelling good or whatever. So for us, we have to understand as men, that doesn't mean I always have to exercise as a man and look at you in that way, but that's my first intent, because you're going to attract me by the way you look.
I think that, and this go back to what I said earlier, I can think you're a beautiful woman, I can think you're attractive and not act on it, right? And so I think, again, what I got into in life is that if I think a woman's attractive or I think she might be good for me, I'm going to pray on it first. If God leads me to do more after that, then cool, we're going to go from there. If not, just going to leave it at, hey, God, this is a beautiful creation that you made right here, and just going to leave it at that.
And that's what I was going to say. I was like, I'm a person that has female friends, male friends, but it's that discernment to say that, no, that's just my friend.
Right.
And to her point, or her question was, can we just be in that friend zone? I personally think we can, but at the same time, it takes a lot of maturity for a man, a lot of discipline to truly just be like, no, that's my friend, and I'm not going to, have this blurred line.
Every man ain't got that.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the hard part of that discernment. That goes back to what you said before.
And you can't hit it and then say we friends. And that's just what the reality is. Because sex changes everything. You can't do that.
Go ahead.
You can't do that.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi. Someone touched on men being vulnerable. So my question is, how much of what men want is actually about emotional needs that men haven't been given permission to articulate?
Wow.
You must be a therapist.
Here we go. She did a little. I'm about to get you. You tackle that one right there.
Hey man, like I totally understand. I think we had an episode previously where we brought on a therapist that talked about having those spaces, creating those spaces. And I think that it takes that emotional intelligence. It takes that self-work in order for you to really do the building blocks of yourself. Wise man once told me that, you know, 2 wholes make a couple. You know, 2 halves don't make a couple. So, you know, you can't come into a relationship half yourself and expecting to be whole with somebody else. So
right.
I think to that point and to her question of, and again, this seems to be like the overarching theme of just emotional intelligence and maturity, because a lot of men will do that. They'll want a woman because of what she's able to provide, not realizing that some of that's because they didn't get that as they were young from their moms.
Right.
So, but I think like you can't have a woman and look for her to be your mom. That shouldn't be the thing, right? So I think it just takes a thing of, as men, self-reflecting and understand like, what am I looking to get out of this relationship, and also where does that come from, right? Because who God has us to be with, there's going to be something about me that she's able to compliment, and there's going to be something about her that I'm able to compliment. Like if I'm bad with being on time, right? I now have a woman that is great with being on time, or vice versa. Like it's understanding that part and not just trying to rely on them for this or that, because now it creates a kind of attachment to where it's like I rely on you for everything, and that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
My quick point on this would be, as a man, I don't need permission to be vulnerable. I should be leading the relationship, and I'm charged to foster the environment in which that is the normal.
Hello. First of all, I have no idea what women want, and I've been married for 40 years.
Thank you.
But I would like to know, from the men's perspective, how do you know when you're ready for a relationship? It's one thing to just ask and be out there and everything, but how do you know when you're really ready?
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak to that because I've been married for so long, right? I think that I had so many relationships that I abused because I wasn't mature, I wasn't spiritually mature, or I wasn't mentally mature, because I was falling into the mentality of it's 17-1. So if I don't like you, I got somebody else to do it. So I think it comes to, and when we talk about scripture, like Paul says that when I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away my childish ways. So a man has to get to a certain maturity level within himself of understanding when it's the right time for the relationship. And also too, like Jason was saying earlier, what type of relationship are you building? Because for me specifically, my wife was my best friend initially. And so that's what fostered me to helped me to understand that she was the one for me, because she could be my friend. Everybody else was just something else to me.
I was going to say that I agree that, well, to that point, it's tough because it's like when you know, but it's when that woman brings out that best version of you that you just start to see yourself elevating and just falling into this person that you couldn't be by yourself.
Sure.
You could do a lot of stuff on your own. You meet the right person and it starts clicking and you just like, you know what, I really can't. Exactly. I really can't go without it.
What are you doing to make me better?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we've brought this conversation to social media, and I'm going to do a good job because social media has some questions for you. So you guys ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Is it fair or realistic to expect one partner to meet all of your needs?
No.
I don't think so.
We just do
100%
I think it's
no.
impossible.
Yeah, no.
I think it's the 80-20 rule. You're going to meet somebody that meets 80% of what you need. You all got to blend the 20 together.
100%.
You should have a baseline of like certain things you will not tolerate and certain things that you're willing to compromise. But yeah, a person can't meet all your standards. No.
Hold on. Yes. if your needs are truly your needs and not your wants.
Okay.
They may not meet all your wants, but my woman will meet my need.
100.
Being led by God, so on and so forth. But I clearly articulate what I need, and I'm not outlandish with it. I know there's a distinguished difference between what I need and what I want.
Are you willing to help cultivate her what your needs are? Because you don't throw the baby with the bathwater every time. Like, she can have certain things that you can make better for you as from a need perspective.
Brother, if she don't meet my need, she won't be my woman.
Okay, well.
We ain't even gonna get to that
We
point.
have another burning social media question. Do men and women listen to understand or to just respond?
That depends on the person.
Talk about it.
Everybody doesn't have the emotional maturity to understand that when you speak to me, I'm listening to you to fully understand what you're saying, not just to try to rush and get off my response. Everybody isn't there yet, sadly.
And men, we're naturally fixers, so you could be talking to us, but automatically we're trying to figure out a solution to whatever you're saying. We think we know what you're going to say before you even say it. That's just inherently natural in a man.
And that's something he needs to learn not to do. And I would challenge all men out there, look up empathetic listening. It's another level to active listening.
When she starts talking to you, ask her first, do you want me to just listen so you can get your stuff off and vent, or do you want me to give a solution? And depending upon what she says, now you know what kind of listening ear you have.
Because that's a time and place for everything, right? Because sometimes, you don't need to respond. Sometimes it is that purpose of just venting and being that space for her. Shoulder to cry on when she needs it, if that's what she needs or what she wants.
Okay. Well, listen, we ain't finished yet. So we're switching gears a little bit, but let me ask you this. Do you think it's okay to have a close friend of the opposite sex? Chew on that a little bit, and we'll be right back.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that moment, her life changes forever. The toll is great. The need is greater. The need to find comfort in the dark hours. The need to find hope in the cures. And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. But we need your help to make more moments of hope possible. Join our fight. Save lives. Because we are all stronger together.
All right, gents. Can men and women from the opposite sex really just be friends? No feelings, no side eyes, no, that's just my friend, or without a long pause, or, absolutely. Some people say absolutely, and others say hell nah, right? But let's check this video out.
Why can't men and women just be friends?
All of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
The cold, hard truth is this. If your girl has a guy friend, he's not there by accident.
Why do us women keep male friends? Let me explain why. Because it is safer.
I do not believe in friends of the opposite gender. No way. I think, number one, you're always bound to form some sort of attraction.
Men a lot of times are friends with women because they won't let them sleep with them. And so they'll just kind of be useful, hoping that one day their nice deeds will add up to attraction.
He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity.
Very attractive women will never have real men friends. If they're very unattractive, they may have friends that are males. It's typically because they're attracted to those males. I think there's a primal part of us where there will always be tension. Even if you're not really attracted to them, there will always be that undertone.
So what's the truth on this? Just friends, or, is there more? Let's get into it, man.
Rubbing his hands.
Yeah, because what I would say, right, from looking at that video, is a lot of folks just don't have the emotional maturity. That's what it seems like to me. And I think if you're just going from your experience, of course, if you've only ever experienced to where you was friends with somebody and they always tried to get with you, you was always attracted with them, cool. But it goes back to my earlier point in the show of, I can think you are a beautiful woman. I can think you look good. I can think you have great qualities that I would look for in a woman. Because who your friends are, I think is a cool baseline to determine who is someone you'll be with, right? So if all your friends are nice, if all your friends are cordial, if all your friends are the type of people that help you in your time of need, that's something that I'm gonna look for in my partner just to an extended depth. So it's cool to see it from that perspective, but to think that every beautiful looking woman I come across, I can't just be friends with her, no. I think that's just emotional immaturity.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And truthfully, my bad, I know you, but I vehemently disagree with Steve Harvey. I mean, I think that, like to your point, it lacks the emotional maturity, but furthermore, it really just shows the lack of depth, right? Like, I think that, your life and your experiences are opened up in a way in which you're going to be in circles where you're going to be around males and females at all times of the day, or whatever it is that you do. If you work a job, you're going to see men, you're going to see women. And so for that point, I think that it's very possible for you to build a relationship, have a bond with somebody, and want to cater to that relationship without it being any sort of sexual at all. Like, I mean, that's just asinine.
I mean, go ahead. I'm gonna say I agree.
I'm personally on the hell no side because, I read something a long time ago. It said that 75% of adulterous relationships start on the job because you spend more time with people on your job than you do your mates, right? And so whether men want to accept it or not, if a woman is attractive, he's always going to looking for, and I agree with what he was saying, the kink in the armor or the opportunity to step in, especially if she's already attached to somebody else. So I say hell no, because one thing I realize is that men may cheat physically, but women will cheat emotionally. And so when you have a male friend that she's a friend to, whether she wants to accept it or not, sometimes she can compare your relationship with her to that relationship that she has with that man.
But cheating is immaturity. So it goes back to the point of not having
emotionally cheating. Because just because you don't have sex with a person, that don't mean you're not thinking about them or wanting them to text you or call you or, that type of thing. So I'm saying women can emotionally cheat, men may physically cheat, but to me it's cheating.
I definitely agree.
For clarity, all right, can heterosexual men and women be friends?
Platonic relationship.
Platonic relationship. Sure. Do I think it's a smart idea? It depends on where they're at in the scale of friendships, right? I look at it like acquaintances, we're being friendly, we're friends, we're best friends. I will not be with a woman who has a heterosexual male best friend.
Why?
Yeah, why is that?
Why? Why is that not your man? That's someone that you confide in. That's someone that you trust.
Because they wasn't made to be together. They wasn't made to be together.
Why can't they just be? They're not. Someone's not attracted.
Okay,
that's what it is.
They can both not be attracted to each other.
Right. Yeah, and then that's they both not be attracted. But first off, hold on. If it's my type of woman. The general public, she's attractive.
When I say attractive, again, I can think you are a beautiful woman and not think I'm supposed to pursue you. And they can both feel like that. They can think that this person looks good, but they're not supposed to pursue him.
You're the exception to the rule.
He's not.
No.
Exception to the entire rule.
Bro, okay, here we
I just have emotional maturity.
Okay, no, you're the exception. What I'm saying, if you get a beautiful woman, I wish we had a beautiful woman that did not know this was happening. And we say, do you have a male best friend or a male friend? She says, yes. We get her to call him and say that she has now romantic feelings for him. Does he want to pursue it? I guarantee he's going to say yes.
I wanted to touch this on.
I'm not going to say there's not a high chance.
There we go.
I'm not going to disagree and say there isn't a high chance. But I just think, again, it's not, everyone isn't like that.
The other part I wanted to pivot to was that the whole segment made it like men are the ones that always got to be the one that's breaking the friend zone and things like that. There's plenty of friends in the friend zone that will stay in the friend zone, forever be in the friend zone. And I don't know what their intentions are, what their thoughts are, but at the same time, they're always my friend in that space. So it's always like the guy has to be lingering around just waiting for her to just fall to his feet. Like, no. Like, it happens both ways. But I also go to the point where you have childhood people that you grew up to church with. Y'all been friends for so long. I thought you was ugly at 6. You ugly now, but she's a beautiful woman, though. Like, hold on. No. You're skipping on. She's a beautiful woman, but to me, she's been ugly since we was 6. That's little Ashley. I don't like her.
I think you just hit on, in my opinion, three primary ways that heterosexual men and women could be friends. One, we make great money together, and I don't want to mess up business. All right, so she could be attractive, but I don't want to mess up the money, and we kind of rely on each other for that, so we could be friends. 2, there's no attraction whatsoever. So yeah, we could be friends because I'm not attracted to you, and I can't see my face that close to your face. It just is what it is. And 3, you just hit on, right? That's what made me think of it. We grew up from like the sandbox, and I look at you as a sister or a cousin, so I can't even look at you in that light. And she can be attractive, but I just don't even look at you that way because you're basically
So that's
family.
to defy your odds of the best friend? I mean, your theory?
Those are the exceptions
So
to
what
the rule.
happens? What happens when your mate or whoever you're with at the time, she doesn't introduce you to this friend or this best friend? Would you feel a certain kind of way as a man that you find out later that she had a man that was a best friend?
That's because if it's most women.
Once
know,
we together,
I'm
gonna be
gonna
best
throw that out
friends.
there quick. Yeah,
But that's
I
your
need you to be
mission,
my best friend.
so-
I need you. They gonna throw that out there quick so we can get this out the way.
Lying by omission. So it goes to what men need, like we said earlier. I need respect. I need trust. I need
loyalty.
You're lacking that already because you just lied by omission.
But quick
Who,
question.
me?
No.
I ain't said nothing.
The woman that you said she had this male friend for so long.
I'm a liar. Go ahead, man.
Man, look, quick question, man. So is it possible for you to have the intellectual discernment to see an attractive woman but not be attracted to her yourself?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, once you ask the questions, for me, I'll just speak for me. Once I ask the questions that I need to see and we're not aligned, my attraction lessens.
Yes, like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's possible that you can have a constituent that could be a woman.
I feel like that last thing I said was a clapping moment. You know, I almost felt it. I ain't even gonna count. There we go. I feel it.
No. Yeah.
What? Oh, you just gonna?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
One thing I was going to add to try to further the conversation and see if this does anything.
Okay.
Can you be friends with someone who you used to have dealings with?
See, that right there is
I say yes.
I say
hell no.
I say no.
I say yes.
I say 100%.
I say it comes from maturity. It comes from maturity. That could have been high school, college, whatever. You 30, 40 years old, you done moved on. Like, I get it though. For some people, it's kind of like it's a no.
Body. She's a body, so no.
That's definitions. Is it acquaintance or is it a friend?
No. 100% no.
Hey, they catching bodies every day, B.
Where we at, man?
Hey, you know, some of them said they got skeleton, they got fresh body, so I'm like, no.
Hey, y'all, look, so, hey, we gotta go, y'all, but we hope that everyone gained a little bit more wisdom from this, some insight into what men want and what women really need. So come be a part of the audience with us in our live studio and give us your opinions because we want to hear it. Until next time, peace out.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years, and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Across the nation, over 40% of us are living with a disease. Loving parents, next-door neighbors, the brightest kids. Some blame society, some blame themselves. Some don't even recognize they have it. But everyone's path is unique. It's time we all recognize obesity for what it is, a disease. But it's a disease with solutions, including proven treatments like lifestyle and behavioral changes, medications, and weight loss surgery. For serious cases, weight loss surgery has a proven track record of success, with many patients achieving and maintaining 100-pound or more weight loss. Additionally, weight loss surgery can help eliminate diabetes, heart disease, premature death, and other illnesses related to obesity. And despite being the most effective method of sustained weight loss, only 1% of eligible patients receive it. Let's change that. Head to visitobesity.org/treatments to find out which treatment path is right for you.
From poverty to disease, conflict to environmental issues, the world faces complex challenges. But when people unite and take action, we can make a difference. That's why Rotary remains committed to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, supporting causes that foster collaboration, peace, and prosperity for everyone, everywhere. We are people of action. We share a passion for improving communities and creating lasting change. When local communities, governments, and experts join forces to secure access to clean water, sanitation, and quality health care, diseases are prevented, children can attend school, and everyone can prosper. By creating economic opportunities, ensuring quality education, and building stability, cycles of poverty and conflict are broken, and we can safeguard our natural world for generations to come. Learn more, find your cause, and take action at Rotary.org.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org/action.
Knowledge is my superpower. I love nothing more than having community conversations where we go deep and share profoundly different perspectives. I studied peace and conflict resolution as a Rotary Peace Fellow, and the global network I gained is extraordinary. The skills that I learned enabled me to level up and have greater impact in my work. Rotary is this great connector. It makes something that might seem so far away, it brings it closer to you. You know, it doesn't matter if there's thousands of miles between us, if we can connect over common cause, we're already halfway there. What I admire most about my fellow Rotary members is their extraordinary heart and commitment to doing the hard work, driving and pushing change locally in their communities and globally. With Rotary, I have the power and reach to unite people across the globe to take action.
828 million people around the world go hungry every day, even though the world produces enough food to feed them. Early on, I knew I wanted to figure out better ways to get food to people who are hungry. What started out as volunteering became my life's work. What might surprise people is that this experience intertwines every day with my experience at Rotary. I've married my mission with my job, making an impact daily on this issue that I care about. And over the years, as a member of Rotary, I know I'm creating solutions. Whatever you care about, whatever's important to you. Rotary is a way to multiply the impact that you're going to have. Rotarians truly are changing the world through the work that they're doing.